another breakdown of UFC 327 Prohashka versus Allberg. We back with another breakdown of our first pay-per-view in a long time since 326, which felt forever ago and was dog shit anyway, for our usual April trip to Miami, which is okay this year. This is not the greatest Miami card we've ever seen, honestly. That O'Malley and Cheeto card a few years ago was very good, but this one's alright. Losing Joe, obviously we all know Joshua Van Tairo was meant to be on this card. That fell through. Wrong button, my bad. And now we get a card that really good main event. Rest is okay, and I don't know. The order of the card is not great. Obviously, it's a UFC card in 2026, but it's okay on paper. Could be really good in execution, could be fucking terrible. We'll fucking see. And yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm good to be on a pay-per-view again. A decent of the last few fight nights were. We need some big fights, some titles on the line or singular for this card. And let's see what Miami Vice has for us this week. 327. I keep wanting to say 328, but that's the next month, which is a phenomenal card. And I'm so excited. I'm still intrigued. And let's talk about 12 fights. Sadly, no fight added to replace Van, so down to 12. And yeah. Only time I'm going to say so much, don't believe I am. Only thing I'll have to say before we get into this shit is the normal YouTube bullshit of please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am. Talk about the card being okay. I did the YouTube bullshit. I think that means we can get into them fights, shall we? Miami pay-per-view in April, 327, Yuri Allberg, and much more good, bad, and indifferent. 12 fights, which actually feels like a small card lately, and they are our first pay-per-view in a while has for us, so you ready? I know I am. UFC 327 breakdown. Let go. As we begin the usual pay-per-view before my birthday with a fight that I would wish not to see, as we have in our first fight of the night in the weight division to kick off the early prelims with an Apex prelim. There's some for some reason on this card. To begin the night with a fight between two guys who have had canned fights over the last week, now fighting each other. We have to begin UFC 327 with a fucking dud. We have to begin the night with an Apex prelim between Charles Chuck Buffalo Ratke versus Francisco Prado. This fight came about with both these guys losing fights over the last couple weeks. Ratke was meant to actually fight last week in the Apex against some Luis Henrique guy. That didn't happen, and Prado was meant to be fighting Christopher Alvarez on this card. That didn't happen, so they had two welterweights who needed a fight. Throw them in on this one. Is this a good fight? Fuck no. Is this even deserving to be on an early prelims of a pay-per-view? No. But it's okay, I guess. I've seen worse, I guess. And this is an easy one to predict, so that helps. And yeah, this fight really looks out of place on this card, doesn't it? Let's talk about it. We'll begin with, somehow not the biggest asshole on the card, at least to a lot of people. In my opinion, he is, but that's for you to decide. We have our first fighter of the night, sadly, Charles Ratke, 11-5, 35 years old, 4-2 in the UFC. His 4 wins have been Blood Diamond, Gilbert Urbina, Matthew Summelsberger, and Daniel Frunza. His 2 losses have been Carlos Prates and Mike Malott. Obviously those losses, not understandable. Prates is phenomenal. Malott is main eventing next week, so whatever that's worth, I guess. Jesus Christ. This is why I don't record early in the day. A lot obviously main eventing next week, so I guess not the worst loss in the world. His wins all against pretty terrible competition. His best win would probably be Matt Semmelsberger. Frunza's garbage, Urbina's garbage, Blood Diamond is super garbage. Semmelsberger, again, probably the best one there. So he's beat Cannon, got fed to guys they like. Grecky's nothing special from the Bilal camp in Chicago with him and Ignacio Bahamondes. Bahamondes not doing too good 2 weeks ago. The Iraqi can do better. Decent power in his hands, decent striker, decent wrestling, fine cardio. He's fine. Against shittier fighters, he can beat them. Against better guys, he'll never beat those guys. He's a top 55 welterweight, I guess. Yeah, again, he's an asshole. He's kind of like welterweight Cody Durden to an extent. I think Durden might be a better fighter, to be honest. And, yeah, he's an asshole. He can fight decently enough, and he knows how to beat shit fighters. Isn't he lucky of who he's fighting in this fight? As for his opponent here, the very fucking terrible Francisco Prado, the first Argentinian on the card, and definitely not the one anyone cares about. 12-4, 23 years old, 1-4 in the UFC. Jesus Christ almighty. His one win was against Otman Azaitar. For the little that's fucking worth. His losses: Jane Malarkey, Daniel Zohuber, Jake Matthews, and Nikolay Veretinikov. Yeah, Prado fucking sucks. I don't know a nicer way to put it. This guy is just terrible. Like, we gave him a break when he stepped in against Malarkey and did fine enough. Beat Azaitar, good. Beat Zohuber, had a really good fight with Zohuber. Okay, we can go with that. Losing Jake Matthews in a fight he was meant to lose. Cool. Veretinikov? Really? You struggled against that fucking can? He's just not good. I don't know another way to put it. His fight IQ is shit. His striking is His cardio is awful. He's durable. He can take a punch, but just IQ and cardio is very low from that fight. I don't know, he's from ATT, so I thought he was with Eileen and Coach Awesome or whatever, but I guess not. And yeah, he sucks. I don't know why they're giving him another chance. I guess they like another Argentinian on the roster, but you can probably find better than him. Plus, you got really good ones like Eileen, Ribovics, and Vallejos. And yeah, Prado just sucks. I don't know another way to really put it. So, dude, okay striker, not really much else to the game worth a damn. And yeah, pretty fucking simple. He's fucking terrible. The betting odds for his fight have Charles Radke minus 240 to plus 205. Yeah, I would say that's probably about fair. Would I go any higher than that? Probably not. 250 maybe. I mean, that I think would be a bit of a reach. Radke's much better. And him being minus 250 and something looks insane, but fucking accurate here, sadly. Prado's an inch taller, Radke much bigger reach, and is 85% picked. I am going to agree with that 85%. I'm going to go Charles Radke here to get the win. A much better fighter, smarter fighter, better cardio, better grappling. Probably not the cleaner striker. Jesus Christ. Fucking, I hate people, man. Probably not the cleaner striker, but he probably might have more power. And, yeah, he's just a better fighter. Yeah, he's 12 years older, but he's 12 times better, so give me Charles Radke by decision here. Prado is just fucking terrible. I don't know another way to put it. This is a step up from Veretinikov, and he looked terrible against Veretinikov, so give me Charles Radke here to get the win decision. Could there be a finish in this fight? I guess. But Raki, I don't think Prado has the power to finish Raki, and I don't think Raki has the ability to finish a very tough Prado, so I'm going to say decision here is likely, and over 15 minutes I'm going to go with the smarter, better grappler and better cardio. Give me Charles Raki by decision here. Very simple. Not easy because it's still Charles Raki, but he should have minimal issues in this fight. And yeah, give me Charles Raki by decision. Not really much else to say there for this bona fide Apex prelim, or PFL prelim, whichever one you would like to choose. Give me Raki by decision. Prado sucks, and unless you can find a lucky knockout, anyone in this one, he'd finally get cut, so give me Raki by decision. A fucking, what's the opposite of a bang? A fucking dull note, to say the very least. But then we get into a fight that's happening about 10 years late in our second fight of the night, in our co-main event of the early prelims. Up at middleweight, even though one guy ain't gonna make it and the other guy's making his middleweight debut. We have in a fight that's about 10 years late, and now no one gives a fuck about it. We have in our second fight of the night in the middleweight division, even though one guy doesn't know that. We have in a fight many years past the time it should have happened. Kelvin Gastelum versus the silent assassin Vicente Luque. Well, we already know Kelvin's gonna miss weight, so I guess calling this a catch weight fight now would be smarter, right? Yeah, so Kelvin's gonna miss weight, and Luque fighting at middleweight for the first time, which is an idea. It beats me why he's fucking fighting at middleweight, but you know, sure, why not? Do I need to waste time talking about this? I won't waste too much time. Let's talk about fat fuck, who we already know is gonna miss weight. The Andy Ruiz of MMA, Kelvin Gastelum, 20-10, 34 years old, 14-10-1 in the UFC, and missing weight for all of those fights. Last couple fights for him have been nothing too great. How many times he's not been the most active as of late. Last 5 fights, beat Chris Curtis in a decent fight, got embarrassed by Sean Brady, beat D-Rod after missing weight, lost to Joe Pyfer, and then beat Dustin Stoltzfus after missing weight. Yeah, Kelvin is older, slower, not even trying to make weight, and no joke, he should be fighting at light heavyweight at this point. And yeah, Dana loved him. The UFC fucking loves Kelvin. They give him every fucking out possible, but he just has shot himself in the dick so many fucking times, missing weight over and over and over and over. It's like, dude, just fucking make weight, Jesus Christ. Fucking with that, and then just like ever since that Izzy fight, he's never been the same. Going, what is he since that Izzy fight? 5 and 6 since the Izzy fight. So, and losing to guys like Hermanson, Till, Brady, and Pyfer, guys he could be, just not a good look. So, whatever reason UFC keeps him around through all the weight misses, fucking beats me. Dana fucking loves him. And, yeah, we know we're getting Kelvin. He's a fine enough striker. Not grappling probably won't be too much of a factor here, and he's a much bigger guy anyway, in more ways than one, knowing his fucking weight. And, yeah, is he a UFC level anymore? Not really. But, you know, it's it's middleweight, so I guess anyone is UFC level in that shit show. And, who wants to take bets on how much he misses by at the weigh-ins? I'm gonna say 192. He might get to 188 if he's feeling generous. So, but who knows? And again, whatever reason to keep him around. Even Anthony Johnson at welterweight got cut after a while. whatever reason they keep KG around, I will never know. The opponent here is someone who might be even more, actually not even might be, someone who is definitely more washed than Kelvin. The opponent making his random middleweight debut, Vicente Luque, 23, 12, and 1, 34 years old as well, 16 and 8 in the UFC, all at welterweight I know of. Didn't he fight at lightweight as well? Maybe I'm wrong. Why is he moving up to middleweight? First of all, Luque should already be retired after Jeff Neal almost fucking murdered him, literally. And factor in that he's 34 years old. Yeah, dude, it's time to retire, Luque. Since that Neal fight, he's went 2-3, beat an ancient RDA, lost to Buckley, beat Garimbo, lost to Holland, got embarrassed by Alvarez, and now he moves up to middleweight for some fucking reason where they hit even harder. So I struggle to understand why, but thank God Kyle Dawkins got moved to the White House card. Yeah, Luque needs to retire. He's needed to retire for a long time now, and hopefully this is it. I don't think it will be, but hopefully it is. And fucking middleweight move, man. I don't get it. So, and the one positive you can say, he shows he can still beat tomato cans. December Garimbo, 2023 RDA. He can still win these fights against bad fighters, but anytime he gets a minute step up to even fucking Jao Quinn Buckley, he gets embarrassed. So, like, he just does not have it anymore, and he needs to retire. A middleweight move is the last thing he should be fucking doing, and I don't get it. Tired, dude. The betting odds are not too kind to Mr. Luque either, having Kelvin Gastelum about at the same amount of weight that he's gonna have, minus 260, plus 210. Yeah, you can make KG maybe even minus 290 here, to be honest. He should win this fight very fucking easily. Luque is actually taller by 2 inches and has a much bigger reach, but KG is 81% picked, and I am going to agree with them there. I'm going Kelvin Gastelum here very easily. Luque is just not what he was. If this is Luque before the fucking brain bullshit, then I'd pick him easily. But washed Luque with that worry about getting hit in the fucking head, it's just... it's time. It's fucking time. And, yeah, this should be an easy one for Kelvin. Again, he's gonna miss weight, but whatever, not like that's gonna matter. And I don't even know how Luque would win this fight. I don't see him being able to grapple Kelvin. I don't see him knocking Kelvin out, obviously. No one has. And I don't see him winning over 15 minutes, so give me Kelvin by decision here. Should be... I won't be shy to swallow the D-Rod fight for Kelvin where it's slow, nothing special, and he just wins because he can still fight basic enough. And, yeah, give me Kelvin by decision here. So, Luque's time is done. If this fight happened 6 years ago, I would be very excited to be the fucking co-main of the card. But it's 2026, these guys are 34, and this is a GFL fight, if anything. And, give me Andy Ruiz by decision here. At least Luque should not take too much damage here, because Kelvin is not really a damage fighter. And, yeah, how the mighty have fallen. Now 2 welterweights fighting at middleweight. And, give me Fat Fuck by decision. And then after that, we get into the real meat and potatoes of this card, beginning with the featured early prelim of the night in the lightweight division. A very, very good prospect battle at lightweight, where someone has to take their first UFC L. As we have in our feature early prelim, a very fun prospect battle that is the real starting point of the card. We have the Ender EPs with a banger at lightweight, who's taking their first UFC loss between Marquel Medeiros versus Chris Taco Padilla. And fun prospect battle here. 3-0 in the UFC versus 4-0 in the UFC on paper. Decent prospect battle. This was meant to be Nazim Sadikov and Marquel Medeiros, but Nazim pulled out to go beyond the Baku card. So now we get Taco and Medeiros, so should be intriguing. Very fun EP. Happy this is above KG and Luke, and let's talk about it. It was meant to be on this card from the start. Marquel Medeiros, 11-1, 29 years old, 3-0 in the UFC, coming off Contender Series a few years ago. In the UFC so far, he has beat Landon Quinones, Austin Hubbard, and Mark Chowinski, I believe how you would say it. Yeah, no great wins in the UFC. All those wins are pretty garbage. Quinones is trash. Austin Hubbard, he actually struggled against it. And Mark Chowinski was fucking random. Like, Medeiros has just escaped fighting real competition at every fight now, but looks like he is gonna finally get a real fight here. I'm not high on Medeiros. I don't look at him as some great prospect in this division. I think there's been much better prospects than him. He's looked subpar enough against tomato cans. Like, your best one is Landon Quinones, and that says a lot. And, like, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but I don't view him as a prospect at all. Especially at lightweight. He seems like a very fine fighter. Like, he's not a needle mover. He's not a guy who you're gonna be like, holy shit, what a fucking great prospect. He's not really a finisher in UFC. He hasn't beat anyone good. Maybe this week he can prove me completely wrong, but just from what I've seen in 3 fights now in the UFC, not counting Contender Series, it's just nothing special. Again, I can name a few guys much better than him at lightweight prospect-wise, and he just seems mid. That's not a bad thing. Again, mid will beat a lot of guys in this division, so I'm not saying he's gonna be like a washout in the UFC, because he'll beat the lower level guys. We've seen him do it, but I don't view him as some great prospect at all. And again, when your best one is Landon Quinones, 3 wins into the UFC, and all your fights are decisions, none of them been that exciting, and you even struggled a good amount against Austin Hubbard. What am I really meant to say here? So, not trying to shit on him. I don't think he's bad, just I don't view him as a prospect in terms of compared to his opponent. So there you go. As for that opponent, not a great nickname to have right above Kelvin Gastelum, but happens. As we have not Eric Andre as his opponent, instead it is Chris Taco Padilla. You have to have that nickname right above Kelvin Gastelum. Padilla, 17-6, 30 years old, 4-0 in UFC. I'll be honest, he's really 3-1. He beat James Lontop, Rongju, and Ismael Bonfim. In my opinion, a lot of people's, he did lose to Jai Herbert. That was definitely not a good look for him in his UFC career so far, but everything else has been good. James Lontop in the debut on short notice. He beat him easier than Rufy did. Rongju, how good is that one aging? Bonfim, I think that's not a great win, but what can you do? Herbert's, if you want to point out someone with Padilla, you can point to the Jai Herbert fight. Again, Jai Herbert, really? B, again, he probably lost that fight. So, but I would still say struggling against Jai Herbert's better than struggling against Austin Hubbard. So, what does that tell you? I don't know what happened there with Padilla, but he's bounced back very well since, and dude looks decent. Dude looks like a very solid prospect in the division. Young, 30 years old, so still got a lot of time on the clock. Good striker, good grappler, well-rounded. Cardio looks alright. He seems a bit of a character, seems like a good guy. I like Taco, I like Padilla. Again, especially compared to Medeiros, he seems like more of a legit prospect. And lightweight, that means nothing, don't worry, because he would somehow find a way to lose to fucking Dariush or Moicano. But so far in the UFC, outside that Herbert win, even if he wants to, or loss, he's 3-1. Those 3 wins are not terrible. And at least Wrong Chu's a really good one. I'd pick a Wrong Chu to beat Medeiros, so what does that tell you? And it'll look decent so far. I can't really say too much bad. Definitely can point out a bad thing or two with the Herbert fight, but besides that, dude looked good, looked like a solid prospect, and excited to see how he does against a fellow prospect, quote, in this one. And he's stepping in on short notice for Nazim Sadikov, so see what happens. Betting odds agree with me, thinking Padilla's the better prospect, having him at minus 195 here against plus 170. That's a little high in my opinion. I'd probably have Padilla down to maybe minus 165, 170. I think that'd be a little, I would say minus 165 would be a little more on the money. He should be a favorite, but maybe a tone down a bit. So to the end, we did see how he looked against Chai Herbert. If that version shows up, I would easily pick Medeiros. So, but we'll see what version of Padilla shows up. Medeiros is an inch taller. Padilla has a giant reach advantage though, and is 84% picked. Again, all 3 early prelims, I agree. I'm going the favorite here. I'm going Chris Padilla. Again, like I just said, if the version of Padilla we saw against Shai Herbert shows up, then yeah, I think Medeiros is going to win this fight. But if the version that we've seen in every other UFC fight shows up, he should win this fight. I think he's better than Medeiros. Striking can be a bit competitive, maybe. Medeiros ain't a terrible striker, but I do think Padilla's better. I think Padilla's better on the ground. He got better cardio. Maybe. Does he? Maybe. I just think Padilla's a bit better, and I'm gonna go Chris Padilla here by decision. I would be amazed at a finish by either guy. Medeiros is not a finisher, and Padilla, I don't think they'll finish Medeiros, so maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I always want to see a finish, but I doubt it, so give me Taco Padilla by decision. Again, if either A shitty version of Padilla shows up, or B, Medeiros is actually really good, then Padilla could lose this fight. But if the best Padilla shows up, then I think he should win this fight. I think he's just a better prospect and fighter than Medeiros. And we'll see though. Very good way to end early prelims, and I'm going Chris Padilla by decision. I think the guy's good. I think he could be I wouldn't be shocked if we see him in one of those fucking Apex main events in the near future against Fiziev or some bullshit. And see what happens though. Give me Taco by decision. Very good way to end the early prelims. And let's see who loses their first UFC fight. I'm saying it's not gonna be. And there you go. And there's the early prelims. Nothing special. You got a terrible fight, a late fight, and a decent fight. It's ordered well, and not really too much you can say there. So one good fight, one meh fight, one shit fight. The worst is on the bottom, best is on top. That's good, and yeah, not really much to say. They're fine enough early prelims. I've seen much worse. Outside of the prelims, the real ones, which are actually really, really fucking good. with 3 fights that should be on the main card over Cub Swanson. That's a different story. As we begin the prelims with a fight in the strawweight top 10, just like the co-main last week, another fight in that division's top 10 here, as we have to be in the prelims, so a fight that could easily be on the main card over Cub Swanson, but UFC is fucking stupid. We have in our opening fight of the prelims, our only female fight of the night in this strawweight division's top 10, we have Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. Interesting fight here. And we, like I said, we had Ricci and Verna last week, Tatiana Lupi this week. Will the prospect beat the veteran? They did not last week. Maybe they can here. Time will tell. And let's talk about a decent fight. Should be higher on the card, to be honest. Let's talk about Tatiana Suarez, the higher ranked of the two, 11-1, 35 years old, 8-1 in the UFC, won Ultimate Fighter 10 years ago, since has beat Amanda Cooper, Viviane Pereira, Alexa Grasso, Carla Esparza, Nina Nunez, Montana De La Rosa, Jessica Andrade, and Amanda Lemos. Only loss was to Weili a year ago when she was actually the favorite to win that fight. Tatiana is a really interesting case. She could have, and probably should have, been the champion a couple years ago, but now she's run into the fact that A, she's gotten older, B, the division has gotten better when she has not, and C, Weili Zhang. That third one she doesn't have to deal with on this fight, but the first two she does. Has she really improved at all from the Ultimate Fighter? Can she strike at all? No. Does she have good cardio? No. She's a really good wrestler. Is she any different than Patchy? Actually, I think she might be a better striker. But, truly, has Tatiana improved at all from the Ultimate Fighter? She's gonna take you down and beat you pretty easily. That's what her UFC career has been until she fought Weili. Weili was able to survive round 1. Tatiana gassed and lost. So Lemos almost finished her in round 3. So it's like, yeah, Tatiana's still easily one of the better fighters in this division, but is she the best anymore? No, not really. Has she gotten better from what we saw 10 years ago? Not really. So, if her cardio sucks, she has no striking, yeah, she can hold you down really well, might ground and pound you, might submit you, but if she can't do that, you're gonna have some chances to win, and Tatiana's gonna we'll see what happens here. At this point, she's not gonna get better. Her striking ain't gonna improve, her head movement ain't gonna fucking improve, her cardio ain't gonna improve at 35, so we kinda gotta see. Weili's back in the division, so any chance of her being champion is gone. And could she even beat Dern at this point? We'll see. We'll see if she can even beat Godinez. Tatiana has the talent. She still is a solid fighter, but the talent she had from the start is the same she has now, so no development kind of has fucked her over a bit. As for the opponent trying to join the top, Lupi Godinez, 14-5, 32 years old, 9-5 in the UFC. Her wins have been, actually she really should be 11-3. She beat Jessica Panay, Sylvia Gomez, Juarez beat Luana Carolina, Lumalupume, Carnal Rossi, Calvillo, Ducote, Reed, Ricci, Pelarcio, and Andrade. Her only real losses are to Hill, Jandiroba, and Dern. Lupi's a very frustrating fighter, because she is very talented, but there are many instances where she fails to show that. Every time she gets a big fight, she kinda shits the bed. Angie, Verna, Dern. So, and even some of her wins, why did you go to a split decision with Cynthia Calvillo? fucking Tabitha Ricci. So, like, her last two fights have been better. Pilarstri gave her a fight, but Pilarstri's really good, and she beat Andrade without much issue. Like, the best loopy we ever saw was against Elise Reed, when she was fucking woman handled her and looked phenomenal. But we've just not seen her fight at her best that much since then, if at all. She is talented. She has good striking, good cardio, good wrestling. Like, she's tiny, 5'2", still taller than Ricci. But it's just like, at this point, is she really gonna be a top fighter? She keeps getting the fucking chances. It's the same thing they're doing with Ricci. She's fought almost everyone in the top 5 by now outside of Xiaonan, so what the fuck else? If you can't win this one, well, UFC can only do so much. Like, she's clearly talented, she's a top 10 fighter, but if you don't win when it matters, if you can't beat these higher level fighters, what the fuck is UFC meant to do at this point? So, she has a talent. UFC wants her to be good, obviously, with that Mexican market with Alexa Irene, but she has to finally beat one of these higher level fighters, one of these top 5 fighters, and we'll see if she finally can. So, this could be her. She's in the same spot that Ricci was a week ago, and see if she can finally get a much needed top 5 win. In her 4th attempt, well, I guess it wasn't top 5, but still, that's a big fight, so her 3rd attempt at a top 5. The betting odds say she will not, having Tatiana Suarez. I know it says 155, but I looked earlier, she's really minus 190 at this point. I get it, I don't agree with it. If you want to say Tatiana should be the favorite, sure, but I would say minus 140-ish, around that. Loopy's not a bad underdog on this card, and we're gonna get to some weird betting odds very soon. She's not a terrible underdog here, and Tatiana minus 2, almost minus 200, a little much, so Tatiana 3 inches taller and has a giant reach advantage, 86% picked as well. Could this be just like Verna and Ricci last week? Yes, 100%. Will it be? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going Loopy. Is it a bad pick? Probably. Truly, probably. But I made the same fucking mistake of Ricci last week, but I just have the feeling here Tatiana's not developed at all. The same fighter we've seen for 10 years now. Loopy's a better striker. That's a fact. Loopy has better cardio, in my opinion. The one issue is she's tiny. Tatiana might be able to get her on the ground and just hold her there like fucking Dern did, or Jandaroba did, or like Verna did to Ricci last week. But if she can, or let's say she gasses after a fucking round and a half, like the Verna fight, or like the Lemos fight, Loopy might get her, man. Loopy might give her a fight. Maybe if could break her late, who knows. Loopy's good. Not saying Tatiana ain't, but there's just clear problems with Tatiana's game, and at this point, I just think she's beatable. I think she's very beatable, and I think I'm gonna go Loopy here. Is it a bad pick? More than likely. Will it end just like Ricci last week? More than likely. But eventually one of these fighters have to win, right? And eventually Tatiana has to be exposed again like she was against Whaley, so fuck it. Give me Godinez by decision. Is it a good pick? Probably not. It's gonna go well. Probably fucking not. But I just have a weird feeling. Because that always goes well, doesn't it? If Tatiana and Verna win back-to-back weeks, killing 2 prospects, what the fuck is this division at this point? We really gotta bet on Klein and Theonara at that point to be the top of the division, so see if they can be, we'll see what happens, and give me a Lupe Godinez by decision. But is there a strong possibility Tatiana just lays on her for 3 rounds like Verna? Yep. But do I think that will happen? I don't know. I think Loopy has the ability to win this, so see if she can, and give me Lupe Godinez by decision. Am I confident? No. Do I think she's a decent underdog pick? Kind of. Do I think she'll do better than Ricci last week? I fucking hope so. Let's see what happens. Not really much more I can say there. Give me my first underdog. Not a great one that could either look really smart or really fucking stupid by night's end. Give me Lupe Godinez by decision. Best underdog on the card? Guess so. Fuck it, why not? And then after that, we head to our second for the main card, or the prelims, a fight that should be on the main card over Cub and Nateland, where if I had to pick which one should be on the main card, it would be this one, because I could give you numerous reasons, as we have in our second fight of the prelims for the number 6 ranking in the lightweight division. We have a fight that bare minimum should be the featured prelim, if not higher than that, in the lightweight division of a prospect versus vet fight. And we have in our second fight of the prelims, way too low on the card, Mateusz Gamer Gamrot versus Esteban El Gringo Ribovic. Well, oh boy, Mateusz Gamrot. Who doesn't love to see that tomato can on a card? I'm not going to waste time talking about Gamrot. He is just Polish Grand Awesome. That's simple. He's coming off the loss to Oliveira, where he never had a chance in winning that. And again, he's just Polish Grand Awesome. Simple. He's a boring can. And he never beat Arman. As for the opponent here, one of the more exciting fighters in the UFC, and the best Argentinian fighter on the card, sorry Prado, the prospect that we all are cheering for, Esteban Ribovic, 15-2, 29 years old, gonna be 30 in a few weeks, 4-2 in the UFC, coming off the Contender Series many years ago. In the UFC, he's beat Kamala Kirk, Terrence McKinney, Daniel Huber, and Elvis Brenner, losing to Lloyd Karadzibov and Nazrat Hakparas. Esteban is very entertaining. Is he a top 10 level guy? Probably not. His grappling is not spectacular. Last time we saw it against Radzibov. His cardio's, I don't know if his cardio's good, he's just not gonna give up. Striking's good, kicks are great, power's good. Dude is durable as shit. He's entertaining. Just can he fucking keep it on the feet here against Gamrot? If he can, he'll win easily. If not, it'll be like the Radzibov fight where he just got taken down 1,000 times. So, like, the dude, very entertaining. Should they be doing this fight? Probably not. I think it would have made more sense to have Ribovic fight McKinney, or not McKinney, Moicano, or Dariush, more winnable, lower ranked guys, instead of giving him the number 6 ranked lightweight. But Dana likes him. They are really trying to cash in on Argentina right now with Kevin Perez. And they don't like Gamrot, so that also helps. So it makes sense, but it's also just not a great matchup for the guy the UFC wants to win. So hopefully he wins. I'm fucking cheering for him, but yeah, I have a strong doubt. We'll see though. We'll see. The betting odds for his fight have Gamrot to favorite minus 160. I think he's up to minus 200 at this point, or in that ballpark. I wouldn't be shocked or be upset with it. If you had Gamrot minus 220, sure. That obviously makes sense. The same height, Gamrot has half an inch in reach and is 81% picked. Is Gamrot going to win this fight? More than likely, he's going to cuddle Ribovic. But I do see a world where this could turn to Gamrot Hooker 2, where Hooker was able to keep it up and make it a fucking crazy brawl that Gamrot lost. So I could see that happening. I really could. Ribovic is much better than Van Hooker as a fighter. Maybe not in takedown defense, but we'll see. And I could see that. I don't think it will happen, but you know, obviously if I was picking unbiasedly, I would pick Gamrot. I think he will win this fight. picking biasly because I don't give a fuck, and fuck Gamrot. Give me Esteban Ribovics. I highly doubt he wins, but, you know, I can be hopeful, right? Again, I think there's a world this could turn into the Dan Hooker Gamrot fight, where Gamrot actually has to fight and he loses, but I doubt it, so I hope. I'm crossing my fingers, but I doubt it, so, and I'll take a loss here, I don't give a fuck. Give me Ribovics by decision, biasedly. Again, if I was unbiased, I'd pick Gamrot, but again, fuck Gamrot, he's a boring can, and, let's see if Ribovics can do it. UFC does not like one of these guys, and they really like the other. Hopefully Ribovics can get the upset, but I doubt it. But biased picks always are more fun. I haven't made many this year. I wish I did. I would have got a few right. Now let's see if this is a situation where I'll actually get it right. So give me Ribovics by decision, biasedly. Stop takedown and make it a brawl like Hooker did. Don't think he will, but let's find out. Fuck Gamrot awesome. And then after that we go to our co-main event prelims. A fight that's very good. It could also easily be on the main card over Cub Swanson. I'm almost surprised it isn't. We're having a co-main event in the prelims in the welterweight division. A fight that, I guess you can also say a fight that's a year or two late, but still should be a good one, and good one even now. As we're having our co-main event in the prelims, the return after a long vacation away for one of everyone's favorite fighters. We have Kevin the Trailblazer Holland versus Randy Rude Boy Brown. Good to see Kevin Holland back finally after a long time away. 5 months, Jesus, Kev. Really took a vacation. Good to see him back. I think I made this fight a fight to you like 2 years ago, so it's good to finally see it and talk about it. Beginning with the most active man in the UFC, who is probably going to end his career with the most UFC fights, Kevin Holland. 28-15, 33 years old, 15-12-1 in the UFC. No, I'm not going over his whole UFC career. I'll go over his last couple fights. I'll go over his 2025. Enter 2025 losing to Renier de Ridder, then got 2 wins against Ancient, Gunnar Nelson, Vicente Luque, and then lost to D-Rod and Mike Malott. How did he lose to fucking D-Rod? I still will never know, but that's Kevin Holland for you. And Mike Malott had to fucking cheat to beat him, so what does that tell you? Holland, what I need to say about Kevin Holland, again, I actually took a very long time off. Fucking October to April, 5 months. Goddamn, Holland. That's the longest break he's had in fucking years. And I actually think that's a good thing. I think we all see Kevin Holland does have talent. He is a good fighter. Just, he fights so much that I think he almost weakens himself to an extent. It's like overtraining. Overfighting, you're gonna be worse. How often you don't let yourself recover and actually fucking relax. I think that's what we've seen with Holland. He really doesn't recover or take time off, so literally, as much as it's a joke, 5 months, it probably felt like a goddamn vacation for Holland, and it's good to see him back now, it really is. Again, he's a very talented fighter. If he was smarter with how often he fought, he'd be easily the top 15 guy in either division. But he's active, he likes to fight. He's gonna break Jim Miller's fight record, probably before Jim Miller even gets to 50. And, he's very fucking good. Good to see him back. Good striker. Not really a grappler at all, but he knows how to strike. Good power. Good cardio, and again, that much time away is really good for him, so see how much good it does for him. Usually by this point in the year, already on his 8th fight of the year, but this is his first. Opponent, another guy whose skills are better than they seem at times. The opponent, Randy Brown, 20-7, 35 years old, 14-7 in the UFC. Going down his UFC career, he's beat I'll name some of the more notable names on it. Mickey Gall, Brian Barberena, Warley Alves, Alex Oliveira, Jared Gooden, Cass Williams, Trinaldo, Wellington Turman, Salikov, Zaleski, and Nick Dalby. His losses have been Mike Graves, Nico Price, Vicente Luque, JDM, Brian Battle, and Gabriel Bonfim. Coming off that Bonfim fight, his first main event, he looked terrible. Got beat on the feet and then knocked out, so, not great there. Randy Brown's a dude who has shown so many flashes of being a top 15 guy just to never expand on top of them. And now at this point in his career, 35 years old, coming off that main event loss, I think we've seen the last of him really contending for a ranking. I don't think he's ever going to get that ranking at this point, and he's still really good, but that top 15 spot just seems like it's not happening anymore for him, so feel bad, but kind of the truth. He's still very good, he's still very fucking tall, good striking, decent grappling, but I think we've just seen the best of him. That main event was really his last shot against a guy who's still, Bonfim's not very good. Getting schooled by him is not a great thing, and I just think he's still a top 25 guy in this division. I would say so, but is he ever gonna hit that top 15? No, I would say no, and yeah, he's still good, but that long overdue almost top 15 spot looks to be gone. Team spot, whatever you want to say, it looks gone now. The Masters fight are not what they say they are, a pick'em at this point, which I completely fucking agree with this being a pick'em. I don't know how you predict this fight accurately, because these are two guys you can't really predict accurately, so you kinda just gotta throw dart and fucking pray. Same height, Holland has a bigger reach, and is 89% picked. This fight is a classic pick and pray. Who are you going to trust more? Kevin Holland, who at times can look phenomenal, or at other times can look like a joke, or Randy Brown, who at times can look phenomenal, or at times look terrible. It's a double-sided coin that you really don't want to pick either side, but you gotta, and I'm gonna go Holland here. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland here. I think I trust him a hair more. That time off is really useful. I think he is the better fighter overall, and I think he can win this fight. Kevin Holland at his best is very solid, and so is Randy Brown. One of these guys most likely won't show up at their best, and depending on who that is, the winner will be decided. And if they both show up at their best, we're gonna get a banger. If they both show up at their worst, we're getting a shit show. But if it's probably gonna be one guy does, one guy doesn't. The guy that does will be the winner here, so we'll see what happens, but for as dumb as it always is to say or do, I'm going to pick and trust Kevin Holland here. Should you ever? No. Should you trust Randy Brown either? After that last fight, probably no, but you gotta flip a coin here, and which you kinda not even do that, you just gotta pick and pray. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. Better fighter, good time off. Could trust him a hair more to squeak out a decision. Give me Holland in this pick and pray fight, and I'm gonna go Kevin Holland by decision here. A finish could happen. Both guys have been finished before. Both guys don't really like taking shots. Both guys have power, so knockout could happen. But I'm gonna say it probably doesn't here, and I'm gonna go Kevin Holland by decision. Pick and pray again is really all I can say, and see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see either get the best, worst, or both of both guys. And I'm very intrigued and excited. Good to see Holland back after a long time away for his standards, and give me the Trailblazer to get the decision here. Randy could win, of course, as well as Kevin Holland. You never can really trust him. I will make the long overdue mistake of picking him again. Give me Kevin Holland by decision. with not much trust. So again, pick and pray. Oh god, this garbage. And then I'm not gonna waste much time here. We end the prelims with our featured prelim, the worst fight on the card, and that I could give less of a fuck about because these two are garbage. As we have in our featured prelim in the featherweight division between two tomato cans. Then we have Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Shitty fight, both suck. Give me Pico next. Worst fight on the card, neither UFC level. Don't. And yeah, there you go. That's the prelims. They look really good. If you just look at this part of them, they're pretty solid. But if you factor in this is really terrible, this is not phenomenal, and this fucking garbage, yeah, it's not great. But you know, it is what it is. And at least we have 4 good fights. I'm looking forward to all decisions. I don't see me changing that up either. And should be intriguing, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, not very much else to say there. It's okay enough prelims down. At least the middle of them's really good. While the main card better, kind of. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it. Beginning with the main card opener now, since Van got canned. Now our main card opener. No reason to be on the main card, but you know, there's 3 fights much better than this one on the card. But this will be fun at least, as we have in our opening fight of the main card in the featherweight division. We have in his last dance, even though I thought it happened 2 years ago, his last dance opened the main card with a fun fight, even though again should not be on the main card at all. We have the Open UFC 327 Cub Swanson versus Nate the Train Landwehr. One last dance for Uncle Cub. Let's see how this goes, even though again, I thought he already had his last dance. Guess not. Let's begin with Unc. Killer Cub Swanson palmetries himself. 30-14, 42 years old, 15-10 in the UFC. First fight in a year and a half since he knocked out Billy Q, which again, thought that was his retirement fight, but I guess he thought why not do one more. I don't know why he would. Like, he went out on a pretty solid note, and I think he could have done this fight a little bit sooner instead of taking a lot of time off. Even though he's, funny enough, in his last 5 fights, a lot of people would say he'd be 4-1 in his last 5. Most people think he beat Andre Fili, so, you know, and you know, you lost to Dawoodu, so maybe it's a even. Yeah, what do I need to say about Cub? Obviously, back in the day, he was very fucking good, and a legend in terms of always having a great fight. That Doo Choi fight's already in the Hall of Fame. He's fought fucking everyone. So, even in his later years, he was still winning more than losing, it seemed. He's decent, but it's 2026. Does he have one more banger or win left in him? Maybe. I think definitely he could. At 42 years old, he's going to just be a coach after this, because he's been doing that a lot more than anything lately. And, see how he does. Cool that he's getting a last dance. Not deserving of a main card spot over 3 much better fights, but Cub's cool. Who doesn't like Killer Cub? And see if he can go out on a bang. So we know he loves to brawl. Can he do it one more time? Find out. As he is fighting the very unique Nate the Train Landwehr in his last dance. Nate Landwehr, 18-7, 37 years old, 5-5 in UFC. His wins have been Darren Elkins, Ludwig Klein, David Onama, Austin Wingo and Jamal Emmers. His losses have been Herbert Burns, Julian Erosa, Danny Gay, Duo Choi, and Morgan Chevalier. Yeah, Landwehr has definitely seen better days. He's looking very washed at this point. He had some bangers a few years ago. That Onama fight, still one of the best fights I've ever seen. So that Elkins fight was great. They had bangers, but his chin's never been strong and it's getting weaker. Duo Choi embarrassed him. Morgan Cherrier beat him. He's just getting older, and I think Nate Train is more meant for BKFC than the UFC at this point. Not saying he's bad, but again, getting older, can't really take damage anymore, not the most active. So, like, he had his top 15 opportunity against Ige, and that went fucking terrible. And, see if can upset the debut, end Cub Swanson's career on a loss. Again, a big opportunity. Gonna get booed here, which is rare for Nate Landwehr. And, they're gonna brawl. Some shit's gonna go down, and it's gonna be fun, so see what happens here. Anything can fucking happen here. And, see if Nate Train in the UFC can, send Cub off on a walk. The bang out say, well, even though the odds have got closer, I think Lander was like minus 120, so kind of a pick'em, close to it at least. I'm going Cub Swanson here. I don't really agree with those odds, and I'm going Cub here. I'm not really the most sure why the odds are so, like, weirdly slighted to Nate to Train. I think Cub should get this one, truly, and, I don't know. Nate's an inch taller and 2 inches in reach, but Cub is 77% picked. I agree. I'm going Cub Swanson here. I think he can get the win here. I think he can find the chin before Nate finds his. And I'm gonna go Cub Swanson by knockout in the... first or second? If I'm going the first round, that means I think there's enough swing till someone goes down. If I go second, then that means Nate, they might fight a little bit harder. Fuck it, I think they're gonna brawl. Give me Cub Swanson by knockout in the first. I think someone's gonna land quickly and someone's gonna go down. If Nate lands first, Cub's going down. If Cub lands first, Nate's going down. This should be a banger. I'm excited. And, give me Killer Cub. Give me Cub to get the win here. Could, again, not confident. I don't know why I guess the odds should be a pick'em-ish. But, you know, I don't know. And, yeah, give me Killer Cub to get the win here. I'm going Cub by knockout in the first. I think he can find Nate's chin, put him to sleep, so we'll see if that holds true, and we'll see if Cub can go out on a fucking win, like Chiesa did a few weeks ago, so we'll see if Cub can as well, and, give me Killer Cub by knockout in the first. I think he can just land first. I think Nate's gonna be down for a brawl. Cub's always down for a brawl. And, they're in brawl till someone drops. I think Cub's gonna be dropping one more man to end his career, so give me Cub Swanson by knockout in the first. And speaking of fights that are weird and end in a finish, we have in our second fight of the main card the biggest, most intriguing fight on the card, because truly who knows what's going to happen here. As we have in our second fight of the main card in the light heavyweight division, we have a fight that just fucking guess. I don't know, you can't really, you could, if you don't think you can trust fucking Colin or Randy, you really can't trust these motherfuckers. As we have in our second fight of the main card in the light heavyweight division, a fight that's just gonna be batshit insane for as long as it lasts. We have Dominic the Devastator Reyes versus Johnny Walker yeah, this, another fight that's probably a few years late, but this is just gonna be batshit insane. Who's gonna get knocked out? Good fucking luck guessing that correctly. The man we thought was gonna be John Jones versus the man that actually did. Let's talk about the man that actually did first. Dominic Reyes. 15-5, 36 years old, 9-5 in UFC. Obviously, we know he beat John Jones and then lost to Jan, lost to Yuri and Span. Had a really bad run of things for a minute. Then he was able to bounce back, beat Jacoby, Smith, and Krylov, and then did lose to Carlos Ulberg, who, you know, he's just thrilled to see in the main event on this card. It was nice to see Reyes' little career renaissance, but in the same breath, was it really a career renaissance, or was he just fighting terrible competition? Jacoby's decent, but Anthony Smith and Nikita Krylov? Fucking really? Like, those are garbage wins. But, you know, my guess is what it is. And that was good to see him get those, and then to turn around and get sparked out by Ulberg. Yeah, not great. So we know his chin is still fucking glass, and let's see. Yeah, if he has bombs in his hands and no fucking ability to take a punch, what could go wrong? We know we're getting with Dom again. No chin power, much punch power. See what happens. Who truly fucking knows if he can start his career renaissance again, fighting someone who is not very good. So what did I tell you? Because he is fighting everyone's one of everyone's favorite psychopathic motherfuckers, Johnny Walker. 22-6, just a fucking psychopath. 34 years old, gonna be 35 soon. 8-6-1, going off Contender Series. Don't really need to explain Johnny Walker or his career to anyone. He's fucking insane. Beat Zhang Mingyang in his last fight, fraud checking him, and kind of saving his career. Now back on the upswing, heading into this fight. Yeah, we know what we're getting with Johnny, due to the fucking mental patient. He's going to do stupid, he's like a better Michelle Pereira. He's going to do stupid shit. He's going to either get knocked out or get the knockout. And who fucking knows? Who knows of Johnny or what Johnny shows up that day, so dude only been to a decision 2 times in the UFC, 3 times in the UFC, and he's a fucking psychopath. I don't know what more I can really say there, so I know what we're getting with him, and just like Dom, he has great power and none in his chin to take a punch. What could go fucking wrong? The Bang Afterwards fight, have it a pick'em, which I would agree with. It should be a pick'em. Take a fucking guess, I guess. Your guess is as good as mine of who wins this fight. Who lands first? It's truly that simple. Johnny's 2 inches taller and gigantic in reach, but Reyes is 65% picked. Interesting, very interesting there. I'm gonna go Johnny. I just feel like Johnny is not the pick here, but I'm gonna go Johnny here. I kind of just see him catching Reyes before Reyes can catch him. But, you know, that's Johnny Walker. That could be complete bullshit. But, I don't know. Whoever lands first, if Johnny somehow finds a way to get knocked out in some stupid way, won't be shocked. If Dom finds a way to get knocked out, won't be shocked. It won't go past round 1, or at least it fucking shouldn't. Take a guess and fucking pray is all I can say. My pick and my prayer is gonna go with Johnny Walker. I just think, again, Reyes' little fucking winning streak was nice, but again, against who? And I just think Johnny looked good against Zhang. If he can kind of look like that again, or he can be Johnny Walker and find a way to hit Reyes, that works too. just take a guess. That's all I can say here. There's no educated prediction here. It's just fucking guessing. And my guess is gonna go Johnny Walker by knockout in the first. Again, am I confident? Not fucking really, but do I have much of a choice? No. Would I be confident picking Reyes? Fuck no. So, if you gotta pick and pray here, my pick and my prayer will go Johnny Walker. And, yeah, either I'm gonna regret it or feel smart. So, take a guess and see what happens. Give me Johnny Walker by knockout in the first. In a fight where either man get knocked out at any second. Can't wait to see what happens. And, Johnny Walker by knockout in the first. Not really much more you can say there. Someone getting knocked out. See who it is. The man who was meant to beat Jones and the man that actually did. And then after that, we get maybe the most polarizing figure on this card, the most polarizing person on this card, in our featured fight of the main card, or third fight of the main card, in the heavyweight division. We have in the fight where I know everyone's cheering for one side, but what will actually happen if you take away your bias? Let's see, as we have in our featured bout of the main card, fight where everyone is cheering for one guy to lose, and I think we know who that is. But listen, will he actually lose? We'll see, as we have in our featured fight of the main card at heavyweight top 5, Curtis Razor Blades versus Josh Hokett. Oh boy, what the fuck happens here with crazy man Hokett versus Blades? Ooh, I think we know who everyone's cheering for, and it's not Josh Hokett, but what will actually happen if you take away your bias? So let's take a look. And we'll begin with the higher ranked, the number 5 or 6 ranked, Curtis Blades. 19 and 5, 35 years old for Mr. Blades, 14, 5 and 1 in the UFC. Not gonna go around his whole UFC career. I think the most interesting and main fight to talk about here is the Kuniev fight, which I think kind of could show what might happen here. Blades did not look good against Kuniev at all, and he lost that fight completely. For now fighting a guy who I think is a much better fighter and prospect than Kuniev. See what Blades can do here. He's not done the best lately. Lost to Aspinall, beat Giles, and lost to Pavlovich. So, you know, he's not been the most active or even been doing the best as of late. So, let's see what happens here. Again, 35 years old, getting older. I never thought he was that great of a fighter anyway. I know people say he's a top heavyweight. From doing what? By being a better Giles Almeida? He's Giles Almeida with 20% more striking. He can do a little bit of striking. He's not a great striker, but he can strike, I guess. If he's fighting a fucking tomato can like Chris Dawkins, his wrestling is fine, but it looks really good because wrestling can beat 90% of heavyweight. Like, I just don't think he's that good. Again, wrestling can just beat 90% of heavyweight. That's not a fucking accomplishment. And again, his striking is fine. His chin is piss poor. So, he's getting older. He's not active. He hasn't looked good lately. So, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, everyone is going to be cheering for him here, but will he actually get to win? We're gonna find out. Again, he looked pretty terrible in Kuniev. He lost that fight, now he's fighting a better prospect than Kuniev. See what happens here, man. Curtis Blades, can he be the hero of the weekend, or will he fall short and be another victim of maybe everyone's most hated fighter right now? That being his opponent, everyone's least favorite, Josh Hokett, 8-0, 28 years old, 2-0 in UFC, coming off Contender Series, In his 2 UFC wins, he beat Max Jimenez and Denzel Freeman. Yes, very terrible wins, but, you know, he looked good in those fights. And now we see what he can do against Curtis Blades. Is this man legit? We're gonna find out. We know he can talk. Man, do we know he can talk. He is heavyweight Sean Strickland, but can he be a top guy like Sean Strickland? Or is he just a guy who talks a big game? His striking's getting better. His striking does look very good. His cardio looks solid. The guy we saw in Contender Series he's already improved from where he was there. And let's see how he looks here, man. He looked phenomenal against Freeman. He embarrassed. That was a 10-7 round, to be honest. So now we see what he can do here against Blades. Dude seems to the striking thing better. He has good power. Wrestling looks alright. Let's see what this man can do. I think it's gonna be very fucking intriguing. And again, everyone's gonna be cheering for him to lose. But really, is he actually good? If he can actually back up everything he says, awesome. Heavyweight needs someone like him. But can he back up everything he said? He has said. Let's find out, man. UFC giving him a huge opportunity. Time to sink or swim. You talked big. UFC have liked what they've seen. These guys legit or not? It's time to fight. Can't talk your way to a win. Betting I'd say he will not talk his way to a win, even though the odds are about to pick him from where I last looked at him, which I think that's about fair to have it to pick him with how bad Blades looked last time out and how Hulk is still kind of a mystery if he's that good, so it's very fucking interesting, and I'm intrigued. I'm very fucking intrigued to see what happens here, so ooh, I'm excited. Blades is 3 inches taller and a much bigger reach, 80 to 73.5, and is 66% picked. I'm on the underdog. I'm going Josh Hokett. I think he can win this, man. If he's as good as he's looked so far, just now ready to show against the top, better competition, and B, Blades looks as terrible as he did against Kuniev. Hokett can win this fight. Hokett's probably the better striker. The wrestling, if Hokett can keep it standing, he might have better cardio. I think he can get it. Well, I'm not confident, but I think he can win this fight. I'll fucking get, and it would be much more entertaining if he did, so I want to see it happen. Give me Josh Hokett by knockout. I'm gonna say in a second. We're gonna learn everything about this fight in round 1. If Blades can get him down, if Hokett can beat him on feet. I mean, mainly if Blades can get him down. If this fight makes it past round 1, depending on what happens, whatever happens in round 1 will determine the fight, if not even be the ending of the fight. But I'm gonna go with Hokett knockout round 2. I think a lot of round 1 is gonna be stuffing takedowns, but I think he can really wake up in round 2 and kind of break Blades and clip him. So I don't know. It's a really intriguing fight. I'm very excited, and I'm gonna go Josh Hokett by knockout in the second. I think could even be a first round knockout, but I feel like that's almost too insane to think about. Round 2, I could see more. So give me Hokett by knockout in a second to back up all the shit he's talked and get the win here. So let's see though. I'm so fucking excited, and either Hokett's gonna put up or shut up. Could Blade just take him down and beat him? If he can, he will. If he can't, I think Hokett's gonna get the win. Give me Josh Hokett by knockout in a second. I'm super excited, and not really much more I can say there, so let's see what happens. Let's see if heavyweight Strickland's legit, or if he just is all talk. Let's see if he can actually fight. speaking of fighters who are better at talking than fighting, as we have our new co-main event of the evening, thanks to Joshua Van pointing out, still no one knows why, but, I guess that's not here nor there, as we have in our co-main event of the evening, the easiest fight to pick on the card, in my opinion. You have in the light heavyweight division, a pretty terrible co-main, but what can you do, I guess, as we have in the co-main event of the evening in the light heavyweight division, thanks to Van pointing out this is our co-main, and it's really lame. We have, as of that, the professional Mirzakhanov versus Paulo the Eraser Costa. Paulo Costa just now finally fighting at light heavyweight, about 4 years late, you dumb shit. Do I need to waste much time on this fight? Not really. Makes no fucking sense to this fight, but UFC is stupid, so let's talk about Mirzakhanov. The actual ranked light heavyweight, 16-0, the dark horse of light heavyweight, 36 years old, gonna be 37 on Sunday. 6-0 in the UFC, all contender series. He has beat Tafon and Chukwi, Devin Clark, Dustin Jacoby, Alonzo Menafield, Brinson Hibero, and Alexander Rakic. He's good, man. Like, a lot of people say he sucks. If you say his wins are bad, okay, I don't disagree with you. His best win is Dustin Jacoby. And that Tafon and Chukwi fight is probably the biggest knock you can say on him, that he was losing that fight. But dude's actually pretty fucking decent. He's looked really good. His striking has gotten much better. He's getting knockouts now. We know he can wrestle. Cardio's decent. He has quick hands. He's pretty fucking decent. Again, I think he's the dark horse of light heavyweight. He, outside of being really tiny at 5'10", dude has talent. The dude really does have talent. At 6-0 now, gonna be 7-0. If he were to fight the winner of the main event, I would have no issue with it. He's not going to, obviously, but dude's good. Could he be a champion? Maybe. I don't think he would beat Albert or Yuri, but he could. Dude's solid. He's well-rounded. He hasn't struggled much in the UFC. Yes, he hasn't fought a top guy yet, I agree, but they've booked him against Khalil, they've booked him against Johnny. Shit just hasn't happened, so, even Volkan, so now they're just trying to fucking, give him a big name at middleweight, moving up. That match good. Again, I know a lot of people think he sucks for some fucking reason, but dude's getting finishes now, and he's a dark horse of light heavyweight, so now in a big spot, co-main, not on a fucking fight night or prelims. What happens, man? Dude's good. But I cannot say any of those same things for his opponent, the finally moving up to light heavyweight, Paulo Costa. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste much time here. Paulo, 15-4, 34 years old, gonna be 35 soon, 7-4 in the UFC. What am I really meant to say about Paulo? He's like I said earlier, he's better at talking than fighting. Being funny on Twitter has got him this opportunity and a forever ranking. Even though when you really look at his record, he's done fucking nothing to be looked at as a top guy. He sucks. But like, Paulo Costa sucks. And I'm being honest, the dude's just not very good. Outside of the Yoel and Rockhold fights being great, and the Rockhold one sucks. What the fuck else is there to say? Izzy made his career, and since then he's done fucking nothing, so I don't know what I can really say here. He's not a good fighter. He's a steroided up light heavyweight who's just now fighting at light heavyweight. He's not that good. He's funny, again, but being funny should not get him a forever ranking in every fucking big fight possible, so like, what more can I really say here? So, he sucks. I'm not trying to shit on Paulo, I'm being fucking honest. The truth, Paulo Costa fucking sucks. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, or honest, whatever term you want to use. the betting odds for his fight have Murzakanov minus 190 to plus 150. I would have him a bigger favorite. I would have Murzakanov minus 400. He's my lock of the night, to be honest. A, this card fucking sucks for lock of the night, and B, he's not losing to Paulo fucking Costa. Paulo is bigger and has an inch, half inch in reach, but Azamat is 79% picked, as he should be, and he will be getting the win here. He's just better. Again, I'm not even trying to be funny or anything. Paulo sucks, and Azamat should school him. But he beat Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov is garbage. So, give me Azamat Murzakanov by decision. I will say Paulo is tough to finish. Izzy did it. That's about it. But I don't think Azamat could finish him. I doubt it. But I do think he will school Paulo here. Because again, Paulo just sucks. I don't know another way to say it. Yeah, it's good he's finally fighting at light heavyweight now. About many years late. And at this point, it might hurt him because he already has shit cardio. So, how much is really going to help him? So, give me Murzakanov by decision. He's just a better fighter, and he's my lock of the night. Paulo Costa is not going to take Murzakonov's O and take his, number 6 ranking. It's just not fucking happening. And, yeah, give me Azamat by decision. Lock of the night. Dude's really good. Dark horse of light heavyweight. Not much more I can say there. And finally, speaking of light heavyweight, what a perfect segue into the main event of the evening for the vacant light heavyweight championship of the world. No bout, no Alex Pereira anymore, so who takes the crown with him gone, as we have in the main event to see who is the best light heavyweight with Pereira gone. We have to end UFC 327, crowning a new champion, a good title fight for a real belt on the line in 2026, holy shit. We have to end the night with a bang, to end UFC 327 with a bang and a new champion. We have Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Blackjack Alberg. What a fight, banger. Super excited for this fight. Yuri speaks for himself. What's gonna happen here? Really don't need to go in depth on either guy. Yuri, again, I need to tell you about Yuri. Unless he's fighting Pereira, he's phenomenal. Even against Pereira, he didn't do too bad. As for Alberg, ever since he lost to Nzechukwu, he's been doing his thing. Last 3 wins, all against Volkan, Jan, and Reyes, getting him this title shot. Not the greatest wins in the world, but wins are wins in this division. And, yeah, now he tries to get the belt, bring the belt back to CKB. Can he? Well, it's craziness. It's chaos versus technique. Which one will reign supreme? Yuri minus 135. Actually it's not. It's actually about a pick'em right now. Actually, these odds are more accurate. I think Yuri should be about minus 150, about minus 150, 155. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit swayed towards Yuri. Albert's an inch taller, but Yuri has 3 inches in reach and is 83% picked. And who's going to take the belt? Is it going to be 2 times, or is it going to be CKB's first belt in a long time? I'm saying and new, and again, I'm going Yuri. Alberg's best chance of winning this fight, and it's not an insult, it's just kind of a fact, is clipping Yuri and knocking him out. Do I think he can do that? He could. Do I think he will do that? No. Outside of that, wrestling is a fucking non-factor here, and I don't see him being able to point fight Yuri for 25 minutes. That's just not happening. So, the only time he's fought someone as crazy as Yuri, and to an extent, was in Nzechukwu, and he lost that fight. So, one time he was in a brawl, he did not win it. So, Yuri, we know what he's doing. I can't call it a game plan, just what he's gonna do is go out there and be a fucking sociopath and just get hit until he feels like winning, so, that's what Yuri does. So what's happened here? I'm going Yuri to break Alberg in... what round do I think he's gonna break him? I'm feeling either round 3 or 4, and I'm gonna say round 3. I think he'll break him by round 3. I just don't see Alberg, unless Alberg lands that knockout shot like he did on Reyes, which I don't think he will, but if he could, that will be his path to victory. Outside of that, I just think Yuri is too crazy for him. I think he can break him. So, I'm gonna go Yuri by knockout in the 3rd. Someone's gonna get finished here. If this went to a decision, I'd be shocked. Obviously, it's never gonna hit the ground. Who's gonna win this? Again, Chaos versus Technique. I'm gonna go Chaos. Give me Yuri Prochazka by knockout in the 3rd. Dude's a fucking psychopath. And, I think he can just break up Alberg. So, I think he will in round 3 or 4. And, give me Yuri by knockout in the 3rd. Not really much more I can say there. And again, for our favorite samurai. Again, could Alberg get the win? Not saying it's impossible. I think he could. If you're picking Alberg, I get it. But I don't agree with it. I'm gonna go Yuri, get his belt back, and prove that he is the best light heavyweight when Shama Man is not around. Give me Yuri by knockout in the 3rd to end the card on a bang, and give us Yuri 2 times. You'll love to see it. What more can I say? And with that being said, the only thing left to say now is, boom. And that was the breakdown. There were my picks one more time. Charles Radke by decision. Kelvin Gastelum by decision. Chris Padilla by decision. Lupe Godinez by decision. Esteban Ribovics biased by decision. Garrett Holland by decision. Aaron Pico by decision. Cub Swanson by knockout in the 1st. Johnny Walker by knockout in the 1st. Josh Hokett by knockout in the 2nd. Adavan Mirzakhanov, my luck of the night by decision. And Yuri Prochazka by knockout in the 3rd. Bang. Yeah, I know a lot of decisions on the prelims. If I had to pick a finish on the prelims, probably... I guess Ribovics, if I was that genuinely picking him. Like, seriously, I guess Ribovics. So, I just don't really see a finish on these prelims, so hopefully I'm wrong, and there you go. It's an okay card. Is it great? No. Is it good? I would say good is a fair term for it. It's a okay, good, whatever. It's just good to be in pay-per-view week again, and again, it sucks to lose fights like Van and even Manuel Torres when the card was originally booked, but we're still getting 12 fights. Decent enough card. I think it could be a really good card, or it could be a really okay card, and see what happens, man. Not really much more to be said at this point. It's pay-per-view week. Miami cards are usually fun. I think this one can be as well. And see what happens. I think it's an okay card on paper. Hopefully it can be better in execution. But let's wait and see what happens in Miami this week. And yeah, there you go. Not really much else to be said there. So we'll see what happens in Miami this week on Sunday with the recap. So I'll be ready for that. And yeah, not really too much else to say there. So anything that's left to say, not that I know of. So yeah, I'm trying to think, not that I can think of. So that's really all I gotta say there. So think the only thing left to be said now is, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, I think the only thing that leaves now is, as always, RX out. Good vibes only. And always.